Well, following the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, saying that nuclear negotiations with North Korea will resume quickly, well, President Trump and Kim Jong-un, we know, of course, ended that deal, their meeting without a deal. But Trump said that he walked away because the two sides are just too far away right now. And what the Wall Street Journal, by the way, is calling the tweet of the day. Check this out. Gordon Chang wrote, Trump, by walking away from a bad nuke deal with Kim Jong-un, will freak out Xi Jinping. Xi was counting on Trump signing a trade agreement Beijing had no intention of honoring. Gordon Chang is with us, author of The Coming Collapse of China, along with Rebecca Heinrich. She is of the Hudson Institute. Gordon, first, let me start with you because the Journal called your tweet the tweet of the day, my man. You've been warning about this. I think a lot of people are happy President Trump didn't sign a deal that he was obviously eager to sign, but it wasn't up to snuff. But what message does this send to China?
Oh, this was really important because Xi Jinping was trying to link North Korea and trade together, and Xi Jinping thought that he could force Trump into making concessions that really were not in the best interest of the United States. And now I think that in terms of Beijing, they must be in a panic because they really need this trade deal. Their economy is probably contracting at this moment. And, if Trump is going to give them a hard time, Xi Jinping is in jeopardy.
Rebecca, the situation in North Korea, one of the headlines read, Trump agrees to nothing with North Korea and completely defies the experts. Are you happy with this?
Oh, I'm so happy, Charles. I'm relieved. There is enormous pressure on President Trump, especially with all of this the Cohen hearing going on back home, to do something to prove himself, to have this political victory abroad. And so with this pressure, you would think, oh, no, is the president going to take a deal that isn't the best deal? Is he going to relieve sanctions, even though the North Koreans are not going to agree to full dismantlement? And no, he said, no, I'm happy to walk away because the person at the negotiating table who isn't willing to walk away is the one who gets the bad deal. So President Trump did the right thing, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for this.
Yeah, I agree. Gordon, Bloomberg put out a piece. They said a splashy agreement that returns things to the status quo is better than tilting at windmills around China's industrial policy. In other words, hey, sign anything, President Trump, with China, and let's keep moving.
Yeah, no, that's really wrong. Because what the Chinese are doing is a policy of national theft of U.S. intellectual property to the tune, $300–400 billion a year. Also, we've seen increasingly predatory WTO, World Trade Organization violations with this Made in China 2025 program, which on its face is wrong. And so, clearly we've got to do something. Our original sin was to let China into the WTO when it did not accept the notion of comparative advantage. And now President Trump has a pretty difficult job of winding this all back.
Yeah, Rebecca, of course, back then everyone thought China would be a good actor. And for a while, it looked like they were adhering to some free market principles. Of course, they really weren't. We found out the hard way later on. But what are the challenges that you see to getting a deal that's feasible and keeps the ball moving? Because I don't think anyone believes we'll get everything we want in one fell swoop.
No, that's normally not how negotiations work. But at this point, that President Trump has to keep his standard about what it is that he's wanting. And again, he's got these two things going at the same time with China and with North Korea. On the North Korea point, Kim Jong-un is the one that has to put up at this point. President Trump has now given him 2 summits, which is great for Kim in terms of giving him some sense of legitimacy and propaganda back to his own country. So at this point, President Trump doesn't owe him anything, and it's up to Kim Jong-un to actually make some moves towards dismantlement, but otherwise keep the pressure on and try to get China to put the pressure back on North Korea as well.
All right, Gordon, Rebecca, and by the way, Rebecca's a mom. See you guys all later.